What is up, everyone, and happy Saturday! Welcome to another episode of the Talk of the Rig Show. If you are new here, then you know what to do. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button so you won't miss any future episodes, guys. I say it all the time. It's Saturday. What a better way to have a podcast on Saturday, and Christmas is like almost in a week. I'm super excited for Christmas. But let's give a warm welcome to Robbie or Rob.
Yeah, either works.
Either way. I mean, that's what I put Robbie Reckless, but we'll go with whatever. How are you today?
I'm great.
That's great. So I always hop right into it with who or what got you into wrestling?
Oh boy. Okay, well, I'm a big Shawn Michaels fan, so he's probably one of the main reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was young, my dad surprised me by taking me to a wrestling show on the indie level,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw one guy do a corkscrew plancha over the top rope, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this.
I mean, hey, I'll give it to you because I don't think I could be like, hey, well, 6-year-old me was like, yeah, we're going to be able to do them high flying moves like some wrestlers out here on our indie level. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, no, you can have it. You can take that. I'm not going to steal that away from you. You can have it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something I've wanted to do since a very young age. So,
No, hey, like I said, you're killing it. You can have the spotlight. You can have it. I'm not going to steal it from you.
well, thank you.
So who trains you or trained you?
I trained with CWF Canada in like St. Catharines, Ontario, and I started there back in 2008. So,
Wow.
yeah, over 15 years ago.
Wow. So how long would you say from the time you started training till like you got your first official match? How long would you say that gap was?
uh, just under 3 months.
Wow. So you really been doing it for a little bit.
Yeah,
For a little
very
bit.
very long time.
For a little bit. We'll say it's that. So if people don't know, are you a heel or are you a face?
I do it all. But majority of the time I'm a face. People seem to like me, I guess, for some reason.
I was gonna say because everyone that comes on here, I was like, yeah, you're definitely a heel or you're definitely a face, and I'm like, you're definitely a face. I don't see any heel in you. You're like too smiley. You're just cheerful. So I mean, there's a lot of times wrestlers be like, no, I'm straight heel. I'm like, you're gonna go out there and come back in because you are not. Take that back.
Yeah, it's hard for me to be mean to people.
Yeah. Yeah, I had someone there's a wrestler out in like because I'm in the Pennsylvania area. So there has to be like a wrestler. He's in like the New York, somewhere in between here. His name is Buddy Thomas. And I'm straight babyface, but he's the only wrestler that will bring the heel out of me. I'm like, you just want to you just make me want to smack you and smack multiple other people. So if I have to be a heel, let me just talk to Buddy Thomas for like maybe 15 minutes and then I'll be good.
Nice.
So what would you say is your favorite thing about wrestling in general?
Um, honestly, probably getting to meet all the people I get to meet and traveling. Like, yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. I think that's the cool thing about wrestling because wrestling's everywhere, especially like on the indie level. Obviously, they have it like a show every weekend. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we met at some show, but I've been to a million shows. So it could be any show.
Well, it's been quite a while since I've been in the US, like and in your area at least of
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. I was actually in where was it? Was it Brockport? Yeah, I think Brockport like a couple months ago, but yeah, I don't get to the US much.
Terrible. I mean, I think it probably was more like Connecticut or Rhode Island area because I was out there. But somewhere, I saw you wrestle. That's all that matters.
Nice.
So now what would you say is the hardest part about wrestling for you?
Oh, oh, that's a good one. I don't really know. Um, I don't know, because I don't like to complain, so I try not to think of too many negatives about it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll say that and you love it. You love everything about it because some people say the traveling, the training, but it's okay. It's all great.
Okay, I guess if I had to pick something, maybe it would be missing family time and stuff. Cause like sometimes I've missed birthdays or weddings or whatever it is. So I mean, I guess that would probably be the hardest part. But again, I don't complain because it's something I've always wanted to do and I'm fortunate enough to get to do it. So
No, yeah, absolutely. So, like, if a little kid came up to you at the show and was like, "I wanna do exactly what you're doing," what advice would you tell them?
um find a very good reputable school, and if it's what you really want to do, give it your all. Don't step one foot in, go in with both feet. Some people say have a backup plan. You know what? I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Forget the backup plan. If this is your main goal, you don't need the backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. Focus on this, and if it doesn't work out, you can always go to school or something later. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, that school thing, it's cool. So, do you have, like, a specific warm up you do before you come out the curtain, or you just wing it?
um I usually just try to get moving a bit, like some squats, some like hip stretches and
Mhm.
things like that. Cause I throw some kicks, so I mean, I want to be limber. I do
Yeah,
I do some high flying, so I mean, it's good to stay loose.
I mean, absolutely. You don't wanna be, like, pulling a hip or a muscle out there, so
No, definitely not.
and I love that 'cause, there's a lot of times I tell wrestlers, I'm like, "Are you sure you're ready?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm ready," and then they go out there and they'll mess up a move. I said, "I told you so. I told you so. I knew you weren't ready." But it's cool. So, they learn the hard way, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about, like, hardcore death style wrestling?
Um, well, it's not for me. It's definitely not my style, but I mean, I do appreciate the people that do it. And like there's definitely a market for it. People like it. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock it, but I mean, yeah, it's not me.
No, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't wanna be tables, maybe, but, like, all that other stuff like doors and push pins and have it, but not for me.
Exactly.
So how do you feel about, like, intergender male versus female wrestling?
Huge fan. I love intergender wrestling.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a controversial thing, but, I gotta ask, some people for it, some people aren't. I love it.
Yeah. No, I run my own shows in Welland here, and a lot of times I have an intergender match like every show. So
I love that. There's I think there's only one company out here that actually, like, in my Pennsylvania area that does intergender, and it's, like, always the same female facing, like, every guy on the roster. I'm like, "As you should, queen. You don't even need nobody to tell you otherwise." But, I mean, the way I see it is if we can train with you, we can equally go in the ring and, handle
For
business,
sure. Yeah, definitely.
obviously. So, if you were to get a call from AEW and WWE, which one do you think you would pick?
Oh, WWE, 100%.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah. If they both called me, which they are not, but I mean, if they did, it would be WWE.
Okay, okay. So now, if you could wrestle anywhere in the entire world, where would you wrestle?
Oh my, that's a good one. Um, I don't know why. I really want to say like California. Somewhere out there, like Los Angeles would be cool, or maybe even New York City, but
Yeah,
yeah.
one day, you get
Maybe
there.
even London. London would be really cool too.
Yeah, I wanna go to London personally to just eat food, but yes, I feel you. Wrestling would be that'd be cool too. As you can tell I'm not a wrestler, but it's okay. So now, out of all the places you have wrestled, is there one specifically that you'll always go back to, no matter what the circumstances may be?
Um, uh, you know, I have a real soft spot for Guelph, like in Ontario here, and those crowds are just amazing. So yeah,
I,
the
lo-
the 365 pro wrestling crowd. That's yeah, I love wrestling there.
I love that. So obviously, you've been doing this for a little bit, but do you think it's gonna be an age thing, a mindset thing, or an injury thing that causes you to call it quits?
Oh boy. Well, I've broken my ankle before, and that didn't stop. So I mean, concussions. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it would probably be age, because I think I can come back from almost any injury. Almost. Let's not go too crazy, but I mean,
Let's not
almost
jinx
in
anything.
any injury, and like the mindset, like my mind is pretty good. So I mean, I really think it would be whenever I decide, well, I think I'm too old for this now.
Yeah.
But even then, I wouldn't stop with the wrestling business. I would just stop in ring.
Yep. And that was gonna be my next question. If you were to stop, what would you specifically do like after? Would you want to be like the manager or a ring announcer or a trainer? But you already said you have your own, so you kind of already do your thing.
Yeah, I'm involved in a lot of things.
So yeah,
I
you got
help
your fair
train
share.
at the CWF school as well, so like I run some of those classes for Chris Thorne up there. But and then I have my own promotion in Welland that I run with my dad and my brother. So like I get to do booking, I get to do promoting, I get to wrestle,
Fun.
and then I train people as well. So
I love that. So you get your fair share of everything.
yeah, and I have refereed before as well. So
I give it to the referees because I don't think they get that much credit.
they do not. They do not. They definitely need more respect from everybody in the business.
No, absolutely. I mean, they can equally get just as like messed up or like injured in a bad. I've seen some crazy things with referees, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" They're like, "Yeah, I just got kicked in the head." I'm like, "You're bleeding." They're like, "Oh, it's fine."
You're bleeding.
I'm like, "Are you sure?" They're like, "Yeah, it's cool, whatever." I'm like,
Oh boy.
"Okay, have fun with that." So now, if you could face anyone on like the WWE, AEW level, who would you face?
um so anyone. And
Yes,
is that
anyone. Alive, dead, now, past, present, future, whatever. What?
um oh man, it's so hard. Um Shawn Michaels is definitely one, but like it would have been amazing to get to wrestle maybe like Eddie Guerrero as well. Another favorite, Kurt Angle, Rock or Austin, like, you know.
Yeah,
It's so hard to pick just one with how many amazing wrestlers there have been.
no, absolutely. There's so many. I love it when I have wrestlers come on that like are older than me because they'll be like, "Oh my god, yeah, all these wrestlers." I'm like, "Who? They're way before my time. What are you saying? Speak English." They're like, "Okay, so there was this wrestler." I was like, "Oh, I know the basics. You know, The Rock, Shawn Michaels." I'm not that young. So now, if
Oh
you could
man.
face anyone on the indie level, who would you want to face?
Hmm. I actually do have a list of that as well. um oh boy. Again, it's hard to pick just one even on an indie level because there's so many good guys there. Some that I've already wrestled, but like it was a long time ago and I'd like to do it again. So I'd have to say maybe like Covey Christ would be a good one.
Okay.
Eddie Osborne, I've wrestled him before, but I'd like to wrestle him again. Judas Icarus. Bobby Sharp would be another good one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. So I mean, like I said, I have a list. I might actually post it on online somewhere soon.
No, I love that because a lot of times, like wrestlers in my area, they'll post their list and then bookers see that and then they end up booking those matches. I'm like, look at you, little superstar. Now you get your match.
Yeah, I find that when you like as a booker, if I know two guys really want to wrestle each other, or two people, I should say, really want to wrestle each other, they're going to have a much better match if you put them together. So I mean, it's always nice to see who people want to wrestle and then make it happen because then they put on a pretty good match usually.
No, absolutely, especially if they have that chemistry. Or also, I personally, there's a storyline going out right now that there's like two people that like absolutely hate each other, but they work amazing in the match. I love that. Like they absolutely despise each other, but they go in there and act like they best friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I see you. You do a great match without actually hurting each other, as you should. Well, I love that. So obviously you said like your wrestling company is ran by like you and some other family members. So you have a child. So if they were like, Dad, I want to do exactly, I want to be involved, what would your response to that be?
Well, um, actually, right now I don't have any kids.
Ah,
I no, I think if you've seen my posts, that's my niece usually that I'm
fair enough.
posting. But yeah, I'm all for it. If she wanted to wrestle, I would definitely make that try to work for her.
Fair enough. Because I think, uncles are better than, uncles are supposed to be cool. So if mom or dad says no, you just be like, yo, listen, can I do it? And then you'll be like, yeah, sure. And then you'll deal with the parents. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So close enough.
Yeah.
So, do you have merch? And if so, where can people purchase it at?
Um, I'm actually in the process of getting some t-shirts for the new year.
Uh,
Um, and I do have some like pictures and I'm gonna be getting wristbands as well. But usually I only sell the stuff at the shows. So I mean,
I love that. I love when wrestlers say that because then I could tell my father, be like, hey, so I really want a t-shirt. I really want this, but we have to go to them. So it's fine if it's like an 18-hour drive or it's a plane flight away. It's okay. We'll
yeah.
be there.
I may end up setting something up where I can maybe start shipping some merch out, but I mean, it's just such a hassle.
Yeah, and I personally think it's not the same from actually giving it to the fan because they're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, exactly. I like that personal interaction with the people when they buy something and it's like, well, here you go. This is for you.
No, absolutely. So, like, that's you're gonna have, like, your people you wanna face in, like, 2024, I guess, or, like, your dream matches. Now with me, I'm gonna be like, "Okay, so we're gonna go to every state, cross off Texas, Canada, be like, all these different places just so I can, just so I could get some merch." That's all. But traveling would be pretty fun too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, if people wanna find you at some upcoming shows, where can they find you at?
Um, so I actually have a lot coming up in the new year already.
Okay.
Um, I have two more for this year. I'm doing one December 22nd in St. Catharines. That's going to be a street fight for the NWX championship. Me
Okay.
versus Eric Kearney, Easy. And then I have GCW December 27th. And then the new year starts on January 1st for me. I'm wrestling for Death Proof in Brampton. So,
Okay, like I said, as you should, you're gonna be wrestling all those places. You're gonna be kicking some, we're gonna keep it PG, but and you can have that spotlight, and I'll help you. You be like, yeah, there goes that superstar.
great.
Obviously. So now, where can people find you on social media?
So on social media, I do have Twitter, but I don't use it often. And I'm mostly posting on like Instagram, which is linked with my Facebook. So my Facebook would be just Rob McCombs shoot name. And then Instagram is Rob is Reckless.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm, guys, another way you could do that is you can just click in the down below because everything you need is gonna be linked there. Really quickly, my dad is chanting your name because he's also a hype man. So he heard what I said about traveling. So we have to go to one of his shows just so I can get some merch. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we have my cousin who he's in a different planet. He put in some different emojis in there. Sir, it's Christmas, not Halloween, but it's okay.
To each their own.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. So, since the year is coming to an end, out of all the matches you had this year, is there one specifically that you're like, I really love that match? I was a great one.
Mm. Hmm. You know what's funny? I feel like I had a lot of really good matches this past year, so I don't want to just pick one.
It's okay, okay. So, do you ever also find yourself being like a self-critic if you watch your matches back, be like, "Oh my god, why did I do that?" Or you're like, "No, I killed it and I don't even need to think otherwise."
No, I'm very hard on myself. Um so a lot of times I actually try not to watch my matches back because I just don't like if I think it was really good, I usually just leave that in my head that you know what it was probably pretty good. Because then if I watch it back, it's like, oh, that was not as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, and I think that's also the thing, like, we can think it's bad and be like, "Oh my god, why did we do that?" But then if someone else be like, "I didn't even see anything, like, you messed up or whatever," so
Yeah.
but I feel you. I mean, I'm not a wrestler, like I said, but I did, like in the beginning of this year, I did, like, ring announcing and interviewing, and I was like, "Oh my god, I was terrible," and everyone's like, "You are fine." It was my first ever time too, so I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna die." I'm still alive, I'm still here, I didn't die from the show, so
Well, that's great.
yeah. But so thank you so much for coming on, especially on a Saturday. I know Saturdays are hard to work with, but I appreciate it. Guys, please go give him a follow. And I got some news. I can't tell you guys yet, but just so you know, something big, something crazy is gonna happen in the new year. So make sure you're obviously following him on social media, and make sure you're following the Talk the Ring Show on Facebook, Instagram, more Instagram because Facebook is kind of an old people thing, but it's okay. I didn't say that. But thank you so much. And until next time, bye.